And that's not cool at all. But now, as you can see, I can do some proper destruction without having to worry about too much about my ammunition counter. And I already addressed the moral dilemma behind this, and like I said, I don't give two of a shit about it. So fuck it. However, don't go through here just yet. There are some things which are rather interesting and you may want to check them out. For instance, that over there looks like an upgrade to our talents, and it is. And you want it. What is it?
Warblade.
It's the Warblade. Now you can have both the talents and the Warblade. Do note that with certain settings you cannot select some of the older weapon upgrades. Since my weapon selection mode is now set to quick, I can select all of the weapons, including the older variants of them. But if it was set to normal, once you picked up the Warblade, you could never select talents again. Which is okay, I suppose, because the talents aren't all that interesting to begin with. It's just weird that it doesn't let you do that anymore. Oh, isn't this a wall where the dinosaurs clip through? Fucking cheating bastards. I always knew they weren't legitimate. A good way to dispatch chompies is to just shoot the bunch of them with an explosive weapon, like a shotgun. That deals with them pretty nicely. Oi, you bitch! Now, another reason I picked up this level first instead of level 3 is because of how maze-like it is. People will always say, oh, well, it's not really that maze-like after playing through this game a few hundred times, and I agree, it isn't too maze-like, but it is. It's very easy to lose your way around here. And it's quite annoying because of that. Especially when you need to look out for 2 Soul Gates and 3 Sisters of Despair. Luckily for you, that's not a very difficult task. It's just a matter of making use of your action map. If you make use of your action map to map out all of the locations that you've been in, and check out the ones that you haven't been in, then you shouldn't have any trouble. Of course, it would be better if you could just remember where to go, but such things are sometimes just not meant to be. You see that key? We need to get that key, but we can't get to it from here. We need to find an alternate route. Oh, I just love doing that. Finding the alternate route will not be too difficult. We just need to look around and maybe shoot a random wall here and there. Usually the walls that you can blow up will have some explosive barrels right next to them. And for once, I can commend the game for not throwing red barrels as explosive varieties. No, instead it's just regular brown barrels. They explode whenever anything hits them. So what is in those barrels? I don't even want to know. One thing is for certain. Whatever is in that barrel, it's gonna explode from just a well-aimed fart, and I don't want to be anywhere close to it. Neither would you, I imagine. Now how about we talk about something that's always fun. The bugs of this game. Amazingly enough, I haven't encountered a lot of bugs in this game, but that's probably because I have a proper copy of it now. The copy that I have on my disc, it's actually my... Sorry about that. It's actually my legitimate copy, the one that I actually own. This one I just downloaded off the internet because I couldn't find anything good. Plus I didn't really trust my money with something that could potentially be broken. The version that I have on a disc is not very good at all because of one simple reason. It has a very game-breaking bug. It has a very game-breaking bug. It has a very game-breaking bug which randomly starts turning monsters invisible. I'm not kidding. It has happened to me too many times now for me to actually give a shit about my copies being legitimate of this game. It happens about after maybe 20 minutes of gameplay, maybe a bit more. But once it happens, the only way to temporarily fix it is to go to your options menu and then exit out. Because once you get to the options menu, for some reason they all turn back to normal. And I know some of you might be saying, wait a minute, no, it can't be a bug. Come on, I've seen some of them turn invisible on purpose. You must be mistaking something here, right? No, I'm not mistaking anything here. When these guys turn invisible, you'll get to see exactly just how exactly invisible they get. And I'll tell you right away, not a whole lot. Oh, it's an ambush of chompies. Well, that's not nice. But in my case, where the copy of the game was totally fucked, the problem was that they were absolutely gone. They could still die, they could still do stuff, but it's like their models have never even spawned in the first place. It was so weird. Anyway, you see this yellowish water? It's pretty much piss. You don't want to swim in piss. But unfortunately for you, this piss is actually very dangerous. If you swim in this piss, it will kill you. I don't think it starts damaging you right away, but if you sit in it for too long, it will hurt. And that's bad. It is very bad for your health. Because if you sit in the pee too long, it will insta-kill you. The only way to avoid that is to get the Breath of Life upgrade, the Breath of Life talisman, which we cannot obtain here. What we can obtain here, however, is a talisman. I'm trying to call it an upgrade for some reason. A talisman called Leap of Faith. The Leap of Faith will allow us to make those impossible jumps required to get across some of the gaps that we've seen earlier, like the one which contains the Primogen key on the other end. So we need it. We need all of the upgrades, except maybe a few of them. Because for one, Breath of Life is entirely optional from what I can tell. Because I've never had a case where I actually needed to swim through something to get something useful. At least not in this level. In other levels? Yeah, I did need to swim for a bit. Oh, I just heard one of them turn invisible. But yeah, like I said, the few times where I actually had to use Breath of Life, it wasn't even here. It was somewhere else. I think it was at the Hive of the Mantids, which is like level 4, and the Primogen's Light Ship, which is level 6, I think. Yeah, I think it is. Oh no, Primogen's Light Ship is level 6, but so Hive of Mantids is level 5. My mistake. At least I think it is like that. It should be. But it doesn't matter. Either way, it's quite a distance after getting the Breath of Life, which I think you get in level 3, which we'll be getting to after this one, naturally. Shoot you right in the face. Yeah. Once you get it, there's only a few places where you can actually make use of it. Leap of Faith, you kinda need it, but it's also very situational because there's only so many places you can actually make use of it. I don't know, a lot of the talismans, if not all of them, are very situational. They're only used to get the rest of the Primogen keys and maybe make your life a bit easier when dealing with certain pathways. Like I know in level 4, Lair of the Blind Ones. That'll be an interesting level to go through. There's gonna be a lot of lava. And there's a talisman which allows you to walk on lava without taking damage. But that's the only time you'll actually be able to make use of it, because there's no lava anywhere else. Afterwards, it's useless. Absolute baloney useless. Fucking garbage. Oh yeah, activating that warp portal will require, well, naturally, a warp portal switch, which is not accessible to us right now. Soon enough though. That switch that I pulled just earlier allows us to crawl under these little tunnels, let's call them that, and get a hold of city gate keys. Also, I checked up on the names of the enemies in the Oblivion gates, and the Sentinel is the guy with the sword and a lanky body build. He's the one who runs around trying to slash you while throwing grenades. The Death Guard are the guys with purple shoulder pads. And the cool looking bastards with spikes and everything and edge mastery maxed out, they're known as the Lords of Flesh. And despite being awfully reminiscent of Edge Masters, you ought to be careful with those guys, because their looks are not just for the looks, if you know what I mean. But we'll get to them soon enough. Right, to get that door open, it's gonna be quite an interesting spectacle, because we need to swim all the way down this well, and that's gonna be difficult. Now look at this. This is kind of a bug actually, because if you scroll down, oh, never mind. It was doing it before, so I guess I was just scrolling too fast. But I do know that if you do not have the Warblade, there's actually a bug where you can have it underwater by just scrolling down, I think. But that's about it. If you scroll in any other direction, it just doesn't show up. But here's the thing about weapons underwater. You can only use specific weapons underwater, in which case only 3. Talons, Warblades, and the no, actually, hold on. Let's not count the Talons because it doesn't really count. Warblades, Harpoon Gun, and a torpedo launcher. Yeah, that's the stuff. That's the stuff. The harpoon gun is kinda shit to use. It shoots harpoons, yeah, but it takes a bit of effort to actually aim and hit something with it. But if you do hit something with it, it's a guaranteed kill, much like with a torpedo launcher. However, you're getting the torpedo launcher for a completely different reason. It has a little propeller on the backside, which allows you to swim faster. Speaking of swimming faster, we now have more Oblivion crap. And if Elder Scrolls Oblivion was anything like this, I think I would have been a bit more lenient to it. And for some reason the Sentinels do not move until you get close enough to them. But here you'll have to rotate some valves to open up some doors for you. Oh, once you get on this platform, the rest of the Sentinels pop out. Much like the Death Guard, I think. Yep, the Death Guard are right here, shooting your ass up. Wow, I got a double kill there. Well, that's what I call a double whammy. Nice, got them all. Oh, speaking of Lords of the Flesh and Edge, there was one right there. Just look at this motherfucker. He swings those magics like a crazy bastard. However, you can use this slanted slope to your advantage. Oh shit, there's another one. Like I said, you can use a slanted slope to your advantage. Unless the guy decides to just run up to you. In which case, no, you cannot use it to your advantage. Not for long. Best thing you can do is just blow the fucking shit out of him as soon as you can. It can be difficult because, as you can see, they're very resilient. They refuse to fucking die. And I think he died now, but just look at my health.
You have found part of the new weapon.
If I didn't use unlimited ammo, I'm pretty sure I would have been dead a few times by now. That's not very interesting. So fuck it. But you got a second part of a nuke weapon. What is the nuke a weapon? Well, naturally it's a weapon which utilizes nuclear power technology. Hence, nuke. Best if you don't stand too close to those guys when they're doing their suicide romp, because it will hurt. It's like their last ditch maneuver. Someone's close by. Oh! Time for some sidestepping goodness, which I didn't do. Because fuck it. Oh! Oh, son of a... Well, I did manage to hit him, I believe. I do need more health though. Because this is just ridiculous. I'm almost... dead. Fuck's sake, where did this guy come from? Fuck off. Got my hands full as it is, bruh. Nice. So yeah, it is a good thing that I got some assistance for myself, because these guys are quite dangerous. And those pebbles that you saw fly out of the explosive barrels, they hurt too. Cause why not? Oh, some health. Perfect. Not a whole lot, mind you, but it's something at least. Is that health? Yes. Silver health pieces will not heal you a whole lot. However, you can use them to heal up past 100 health points up to 200. So I'm fine with that. Actually heard some zombies. If you hear zombies in the vicinity, that means you're getting close to finding a cemetery or a soul gate. Either one is likely, because both the locations will have, well, your desired target. Cemeteries will usually have a Sister of Despair, whereas a soul gate will usually just be kept inside a big old mausoleum. Like that over there. Not that over there. That's what you're looking for. But do you want to enter that right now at your current state of being? Probably not. You probably want to look out for some health. Or consider suicide. You know, to get health back. Might have to do that. I know it's dangerously low, Adon, you're not helping me. Speaking of the undead, actually, there is a very interesting little glitch which you can abuse for your own advantage if you feel that the game is getting just a tad bit too difficult. The legions of undead which we are supposed to deal with in this level use blood as a projectile weapon. So, if you were to turn off blood, they would have nothing to throw. In fact, they would have to resort two melee weapons. Their fists, in particular. However, in the case of a soul gate, you could just resort to, well, not getting killed, preferably, but also just blowing up the soul gate. I don't think it killed the rest of the zombies in there, but I do believe that they do.
9 lives remaining.
Oh, you've been thrown back here? Well, that's a shame. Because that was your last checkpoint. So now we gotta go back and check on that son of a bitch. Soul gate. Stop that. Oh, that sounded weird. But yeah, we have to go and check on our soul gate now, because for all we know, it could be back to normal. And we just can't have that. No. No fun allowed for the undead. Luckily for you, you didn't lose a lot of progress if you actually died there. The gate to the mausoleum is still open. And miraculously enough, the soul gate is actually blown up. Oh, for fuck's sake. Full health, thanks. Just what I wanted. But look at those statistics. You already completed almost half of all the objectives. Just one more soul gate left, and you'll only be about 3 Sisters of Despair short of winning. Winning this level. That's about it. Eh? Who shot? You shot it. Fuck out of here, bitch.